Minister.
So I am extremely grateful to all the members. अध्यक्ष जी, मैं बहुत आभारी हूं सभी सदस्यों का। नरेश अग्रवाल जी इसलिए कह रहे हैं कि लोकसभा में अगर माननीय मुलायम सिंह जी बैठे हुए हों तो वो मुझे
उनका पॉइंट ये आई शुड नॉट अंडरस्टैंड इट, इसलिए
मैं कोशिश करूंगा दोनों भाषाओं में बोलूं।
No, 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 no. It's only. Don't take it. It's only. No. Don't take it serious. It's only.
Sure, for your benefit,
Don't worry. He said he will speak in both languages. Don't worry.
I wish I could speak in Tamil, so I would have said a few sentences in your language also. मैं बहुत आभारी हूं श्री आनंद शर्मा जी का, जिन्होंने इसके कई पहलुओं पर बहस आरंभ की है। मैं ये मानता हूं कि एक विषय जितने भी भाषण आज हुए जिसको लेकर सर्वसम्मति थी कि सबके दिल की ये इच्छा है कि जो व्यवस्था हमारे देश में शासन की है और जो पूरे विश्व के संदर्भ में जिस प्रकार से काला धन देशों से बाहर निकलकर दूसरे देशों में या टैक्स हेवन्स में एकत्रित हो जाता है, वो इस देश में वापस आए। जो ये अपराध करते हैं उनके खिलाफ कानूनी कार्रवाई हो, और अगर हमारी व्यवस्था में कुछ कमियां रह गई हैं या कमियां आज भी हैं तो उनको हम लोग पूरा करें। मैं ये मानता हूं कि जैसे विश्व की आर्थिक परिस्थिति बदलती चली जा रही है, हम विश्व की मुख्य धारा से अलग थलग नहीं रह सकते, हमें उसके एक हिस्सा बनना पड़ेगा। और कई बार जिन विषयों को हम लोग समझते हैं और ईमानदारी से उस तर्क को बनाते हैं और उसमें विश्वास करते हैं, कई बार बदलते युग के अंदर वो एक प्रकार से मेल नहीं खाता। और इसलिए पिछले 10-15 वर्षों में हमारे देश की भी जो क्षमता है, कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग है, इस विषय के साथ अपने आप को जोड़ने की, वो अपने आप में बढ़ रही है। वी आर इंक्रीजिंग आवर ओन कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग। Maybe 20 years ago, our capacity to deal with these issues also itself was inherently limited. We can take this debate to the level that we can make it a continuation of the election debate, but the elections are over 6.5 months ago, and therefore, since we did succeed in the elections, we have broad shoulders if one or two grudging remarks come against us. That's a right of the opposition and we concede that right to you. But keep few things in mind. As a result of our entire learning process and how to deal with this situation, the UPA government was moving in a particular direction. When we took over, some of the processes were halfway through. Let me just give you 5-6 important things that have taken place. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने 4 जुलाई 2011 को अपना फैसला दिया। उस फैसले में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि ब्लैक मनी का जो काले धन का जो मेनेस है वो भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था को खोखला कर रहा है, विदेशों में पैसे का जाना भी और स्थानीय काला धन भी। सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उस फैसले में कहा कि जो कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी क्लॉजेस हैं कि कुछ स्टेज तक विषय सार्वजनिक नहीं होना चाहिए, वो हमारे देश की संवैधानिक व्यवस्था के खिलाफ है। और तीसरी बात सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कही कि 2 सुप्रीम कोर्ट के रिटायर्ड न्यायाधीश उनकी अध्यक्षता और उपाध्यक्षता के तहत एक एसआईटी बने जिसमें कई सरकारी अधिकारी हों और वो इस पूरी प्रक्रिया को सुपरवाइज करें। वी आर टुडे वर्किंग अंडर दोज डायरेक्शंस ऑफ द कोर्ट। यूपीए सरकार को जब ये फैसला सुप्रीम कोर्ट में चल रहा था तो सरकार ने इस फैसले को केस के दौरान भी कंटेस्ट किया। वो नहीं चाहते थे कि ये इस दिशा में सुप्रीम कोर्ट कोई आदेश दे। यूपीए सरकार ने सुप्रीम कोर्ट में यह भी याचिकाएं की कि इस निर्णय को बदलने का प्रयास करें। शायद उनका मानना था और कुछ लोगों का मानना है कि कुछ अधिकार ऐसे हैं जो सरकार के अधिकार क्षेत्र में आते हैं और न्यायपालिका के अधिकार क्षेत्र में नहीं आते थे। इस विषय में तर्क हो सकता है, लेकिन क्या यह मुकदमा वो था जिसमें इस बहस को हम लोग आगे बढ़ाते? 27 तारीख को, 26 को हम लोगों ने शपथ ली, 27 को मंत्रियों ने कार्यभार संभाला। जो एनडीए सरकार की पहली मंत्रिपरिषद की बैठक हुई 29 मई को, जिस रास्ते पर यूपीए सरकार चली थी और 3 साल तक फैसले के बाद याचिकाओं पे याचिकाएं डाली जा रही थी और एसआईटी का गठन नहीं हो रहा था, हमारा पहला निर्णय था कि हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जजमेंट को स्वीकार करते हैं। जो तर्क यूपीए की सरकार दे रही थी वो शायद किसी उपयुक्त केस में हम लोग ले सकते हैं कि सरकार का और न्यायपालिका का क्या अधिकार क्षेत्र है, लेकिन यह एक ऐसी लड़ाई है जिसमें जितनी भी संस्थाएं हैं वो मिलकर इस लड़ाई को लड़े, बिकॉज वी कांट अफोर्ड टू लूज दैट बैटल। सो आवर फर्स्ट डिसीजन वाज टू कॉन्स्टिट्यूट द एसआईटी इटसेल्फ। For 3 years also there was a legal compulsion, but the compulsion was not adhered to. Yes. Our next decision was that immediately after constituting the SIT, in the month of June itself, whatever details we had, we handed it over to the 2 judges who were heading the SIT, including all names and evidences against them. For those 2 judges, we did not plead any confidentiality. We had now to proceed further. I'll come to those details. As to the roadblocks we were hitting with regard to Switzerland, 627 accounts were a part of the HSBC detail. I am broadly dividing the accounts into 3 parts. The Liechtenstein accounts, whose details came to us via Germany. And let me straight away explain, and I am going to try and refrain myself from this UPA versus NDA debate, because I think this issue is far more important than just to confine ourselves to what the government did, previous government did, and what we did. As far as the Liechtenstein accounts were concerned, there were about 28 names and accounts. Some people were NRIs, 1 person passed away. In the other 18 cases, their accounts were unlawful. All assessments have been completed. Prosecutions against those people have been filed. In the HSBC 627 accounts, an employee of the HSBC who was a whistleblower, who took with him one set of accounts of various for a particular period. I think my friend Derek referred to that person who is now the whistleblower, and he passed on these details to the French government. The French government started distributing it country-wise to each country, and some 627 names were given to us. In some cases, addresses were available. In some cases, addresses were not available. In some cases, some detail of the account was there. Now, this person has said that, Derek said that only 1% information I have given. There are much more I have on India. I saw an interview that he has given. That very day, we have started establishing contact with him. So, we are not lacking behind. Whether he gives it or not, in the month of June, one Swiss authority told PTI that we are willing to give more details. That very day we wrote to the Swiss authorities, they said this is an unauthorized use item, we have never said so. So these are hurdles. So out of these 627, tracing out, identifying each name, then dissecting, getting information. You may get the name, but you may not have an evidence. अब हमारी वरिष्ठ सदस्य बहन मायावती जी ने एक बहुत अच्छा विषय उठाया कि ये धीरे धीरे इस देश से बाहर पैसा जाता रहा, क्या हो रहा था। आज के युग में कोई फिजिकली पैसे को उठाकर बाहर नहीं ले जाता, कोई हवाला के माध्यम से ले जाता है, कोई अंतर्राष्ट्रीय व्यापार में ओवर इनवॉइसिंग करके बाहर रख लेता है, और उन्होंने अलग अलग तरीके अपनाए हुए हैं। इसमें कई प्रकार के केसेस हैं बाहर पैसा जिन्होंने रखा है। सबसे पहला केस होता है क्राइम मनी का। कोई ड्रग्स का डीलर है, कोई टेररिज्म आतंक में से पैसा निकालता है, कोई आर्म्स की डीलिंग करता है, और जो क्राइम मनी है, कोई करप्शन का पैसा है। तो पहले जो संसार में व्यवस्था थी, द इनिशियल अरेंजमेंट इन द वर्ल्ड वाज ऑन द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ ड्यूअल क्रिमिनलिटी। इफ इट इज क्राइम मनी, दे वुड कोऑपरेट। The second category where we have now started putting pressure, and that is why I said it's a learning process all over the world, that now even if it is tax evaded money, it may not be hard crime money, but it's tax evaded money, people have started cooperating. There is a third category, because we have a large expatriate Indian population, और कई परिवारों में रिवाज है कि एक आध बिजनेस फैमिली का व्यक्ति बाहर रहता है, वो एनआरआई बन जाता है, उस एनआरआई के नाम पे पैसा है, और वो ये कहने की स्थिति में रहता है कि मैं क्योंकि एनआरआई हूं तो मेरा तो लेजिटिमेटली अकाउंट हो सकता है। अब इसकी किस श्रेणी में ये आता है, तो इन 627 एचएसबीसी के अकाउंट्स में हमें यह पता लगाना है कि इनमें से कौन से ऐसे अकाउंट्स हैं जिनमें से हमें जानकारी मिल सकती है। अब क्योंकि स्विट्जरलैंड की इकोनॉमी, टैक्स हेवंस की इकोनॉमी इन बैंकिंग सिस्टम से चलती थी, उनका हमेशा यह कहना था, जो आनंद शर्मा जी ने सही कहा, ये स्टोलन इंफॉर्मेशन है, चोरी के खाते हैं, वी विल नॉट कोऑपरेट विद स्टोलन डेटा। एंड देयरफॉर वी वर हिटिंग अ ब्लाइंड वॉल as to what to do about these 627 people. ये अकाउंट्स जो थे, ये याद रखें, ये 2005 और 2007 के बीच के, और 2011 तक जो स्विट्जरलैंड से हमारा अरेंजमेंट था, उसमें एक्सचेंज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन का प्रावधान नहीं था, और इसलिए पहली बार एक्सचेंज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन का प्रावधान 2011 में आया। अब जिनके जानकारी सार्वजनिक हो गई और उसके पास समय था, दिस मनी इंडल्ज्ड इन अनदर फ्लाइट, इसको लेकर कहीं और चला गया, कुछ का कुछ अमाउंट रह गया होगा, और 2011 के बाद भी जब सरकार गई तो स्विट्जरलैंड ने ये स्टैंड ले लिया कि ये चोरी के खाते हैं, स्टोलन इंफॉर्मेशन वी विल नॉट कोऑपरेट। हमने अक्टूबर के महीने में, अक्टूबर 2014 में रेवेन्यू विभाग की तरफ से एक प्रतिनिधि मंडल वहां भेजा और उस प्रतिनिधि मंडल के साथ हमने वी केम टू अ न्यू अरेंजमेंट। अर्लियर वी वर ऑल्सो हिटिंग द वॉल ऑन दिस ग्राउंड। The first part of the arrangement is that even with regard to stolen accounts information, if we are able to furnish some evidence to you, will you cooperate on basis of that evidence? We persuaded them and the Swiss have agreed. केवल ये कहना कि ये HSBC की लिस्ट है, मुझे लिस्ट दे दो, I will not provide you any information because this is against my own domestic law. But if we are able to provide some more material, they will cooperate. The second part of the arrangement is that if we get some documents, you will confirm or deny to us the veracity of those documents. They agreed. The third part is that it will be done in a given period of time. And the fourth part is, which is extremely important, that now we will start dialogue with them with regard to automatic exchange of information. Sir, I mentioned initially that the first stage was only crime money disclosures used to be made. Now tax evasion disclosures are also being made. The world is now moving towards the third situation, and that's why it's a learning experience, that countries are coming to an arrangement. That is the G20 experience, that is the OECD experience, and the Americans have now come out with a domestic law called FATCA, that they expect every country to sign with them, or most countries to sign with them, intergovernmental agreements, wherein there will be automatic exchange of information of all transactions. But the confidentiality clause is common to all of them. Now they may give me information with regard to somebody's legitimate transaction. Then his right of privacy comes in, I can't make it public. But if in a public court which has been world over interpreted, our Supreme Court has taken a different view, but world over jurisprudence has a different view. That at the stage of filing a charge sheet in court, when you prosecute the man with evidence, you can make his name public. Automatic exchange of information, and we are one of the early countries to become a part of the group of 48 countries which are moving in this direction, is now going to be the next step. And therefore, Liechtenstein apart, HSBC apart, what about dozens of other tax havens and other countries where you keep illegal monies? The automatic exchange of information will help us. Out of these HSBC cases, we have been able to so far trace out about 427 such cases. Some were NRIs. We are issuing notices to all of them, establishing identities of most of them, because in many cases, only if a name is given and no address is given, no account details are given, to get additional evidence is not easy. So we've been able to establish identity of most of them. We are giving notices to most of them. All assessment proceedings will be completed. 427 we have been able to identify very clearly. We have called them in assessment, and I am glad to inform this Honorable House that 250 have now admitted to us the fact of having an account. ठीक है, अब ऐसा नरेश जी, उनके नाम और उसकी डिटेल्स, और मैं सबसे बहुत विनम्रता से आग्रह करूंगा कि कई लोग बाहर भी कहते हैं, कुछ लोगों ने यहां भी कहा, और इसका अध्ययन करने से पहले कई बार हम में से भी बहुत हो सकते हैं जिनको लगता हो इसका डिस्क्लोजर बहुत सोच समझकर सूझबूझ से करना है।
कंपनी है, 1.5 करोड़ रुपया चंदा दिया था।
I would urge you, Dada, we are on a serious subject. Let's not trivialize this debate. 250. Now, I'll give you the reason why, and I will urge my friends on all sides, including my own friends. If we indulge in a populist, adventurist stance, all right, let me put everything on the net. Some members said put everything on the net. This will help the account holders. The issue is not whether to disclose their names or not. The issue is when to disclose their names.
No, please. No, Seelam, please. No, listen to this. Sir, Derek, no, listen. Please.
I think, Rajiv.
No, please listen to the speech. Please listen to the speech first.
The issue, I repeat, is not whether to disclose or not.
Yeah.
The issue is when and how to make a disclosure. Now, I'll give you the reason for this. The offense is committed in India. The money is Indian. The evidence is outside the Indian shores. Now, in order to prove the offense, any government has to get evidence from those countries. No government can march its police or investigations or its revenue officials or its armies into another country and say, I pick up the detail and I bring it.
No, please listen to this. Then you. Please.
No government can do it. There is a prescribed procedure, and it's an internationally accepted procedure.
Please don't make such comments. Listen.
So maybe
You listen to the speech and then say.
I think it's my own weakness that I am still not being able to explain to you. The issue therefore is, when you raise a question, when will the disclosure be made? To the Supreme Court we have made the disclosure. To the SIT in the month of June itself we made the disclosure. We can't hide it from our judicial authorities. But the difficulty arises, let me take the Liechtenstein example. Out of 28, we decide to, or 27, we decide to prosecute 18 people. The moment the prosecutions go to court, their names became public. In HSBC, we are completing all investigations. We had earlier filed 3 prosecutions, some more have been filed in the last 1 month. Hopefully in the next few days or next few weeks, more will be filed. So each one against whom it is filed, the names become public. Now let me take the contrarian argument. Supposing one of them who had an account is a genuine NRI and his account is not illegal. So the object of all these tax treaties is, without evidence, without knowing the facts, in his case, therefore, we will have to respect the fact that he has not violated a law, even if it is only one man. So the issue is, the stand of the government is very clear. the names will become public. But if we want evidence to file a charge sheet, you can't physically lift evidence from somewhere. You have to get it in accordance with either the law of that country or the treaty obligations that you have indulged.
मैं आपके माध्यम से वित्त मंत्री जी से कहना चाहता हूँ कि जितना आपने डिटेल दिया है वो सब का सब अखबारों में, मीडिया में, सब जगह आ गया है। मैं सुनील जी, मैं आपसे विनती ये करूंगा कि आपके जैसे आदमी से आज मैं आशा कर रहा था कि ये जो स्थिति है उसमें मेरे सहित आदमी फंसा हुआ है। यानी ये हम लोग काले धन के मामले में पिछले 10 साल से ये मामला उठा रहे हैं और ये एश्योरेंस किया हमने कि हम इस पैसे को वापस लाएंगे। फिर इसके बाद मन की बात में प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कह दिया और मैं भी नहीं जानता, सुनिए ना, मैं भी नहीं जानता और देश में कोई नहीं जानता। मैं आपसे इतना निवेदन कर रहा हूं कि नहीं इसमें कैसे निकले, यानी ये काले मनी का जो है बेकार की बहस चलना चाहिए या इसका रास्ता ये बता दीजिए कि भाई आपके अफसर और आप
चलने में ओके शरद जी, इस नियत से बहस चले कि तुरंत उस पैसे को वापस लाया जाए तो उसमें तकलीफ क्या है?
भाई कहां से आ रहा? आपकी बातचीत से मुझे लगता है कि 100 साल लगेंगे।
नहीं, ऐसा नहीं लगता।
क्या बात कर रहे हैं?
अगर आपका मैं सुझाव मान लूं तो पूरी जीवन भर और अगली पीढ़ियां भी नहीं ला पाएंगी फिर तो,
समझिए
आप। और इसलिए आप कृपया जिस रास्ते पे हम चल रहे हैं उस रास्ते पे मैंने आपको अभी विस्तृत रूप से बताया।
आप थोड़ा
देखिए, वही मैं अब आप पूरा सुन लीजिए थोड़ा धैर्य से। प्रश्न ये नहीं है कि इसको सार्वजनिक अभी करें या ना करें। सार्वजनिक होगा, जिन लोगों ने उल्लंघन किया है सार्वजनिक होगा, और उनके नाम जिस वक्त उनके खिलाफ एविडेंस होगी, असेसमेंट कंप्लीट होगी, कोर्ट में जाएगा तो सब नाम सार्वजनिक होंगे। अगर उससे पहले उस ट्रीटी के उल्लंघन में मैंने उसको सार्वजनिक कर दिया, अब मैं आपको उदाहरण देता हूं। सुप्रीम कोर्ट के निर्णय के बाद सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि लिंचनस्टाइन के अकाउंट आप किसी को दे दीजिए, याचिकाकर्ता को, उनके माध्यम से मीडिया में आ गए। जर्मनी ने तुरंत हमें लिखा कि आपने ट्रीटी का उल्लंघन किया। आप कोर्ट में जाकर जब केस फाइल करोगे, चार्जशीट तो डिस्क्लोजर कर सकते हो, आप प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में करोगे बिना एविडेंस के, तो मैं इसलिए आपसे आग्रह करता हूं, एंड दैट इज व्हाई आई यूज द वर्ड एडवेंचरिस्ट। इफ वी फॉलो एन एडवेंचरिस्ट कोर्स, यस द नेम्स हैव कम, आई एम मेकिंग द पब्लिक, इट विल बी अ वन डे थ्रिल। The Swiss or any other reciprocating country will never cooperate with us, and the account holders will say, I am vindicated because there is no evidence against me. If we want the account holders to be in trouble, to be prosecuted and the money brought back, Raja Sahab, I would be happy after this detailed explanation if you had found some legal flaw in what I am saying or some political flaw in the argument I am saying. The next stage is, and this is a question I'd like my friend Anand Sharma ji to ponder. Today when we are entering the world of automatic disclosure, we have to take a decision whether we want to be a part of that international cooperation where there is automatic disclosure and the guilty are caught, or we want to go on a lonely path.
This is the same sentence in the Bible,
The problem, Rajiv, the problem with you is, and I am saying this out of utmost affection, you have your own ideology. It is very easy to say X is wrong and Y is wrong. If we follow what Sitaram Yechury Act suggested today, it will be a bonanza for every account holder, because you make it public to the press. The Swiss will say, I don't give you any information with regard to 627, and those account holders will benefit. So populism and sarcastic comments like this are not a response to any form of... Please. Now what did... Sir, what did...
That is election.
What did...
Okay. Please. Silence, please. No, please listen. Silence.
मैं इतना तो समझ सकता हूं कि चुनाव की हार का गम आज भी है, इसलिए हम इस वजह से हार गए, ये आप कुछ तर्क देते रहो। लेकिन
Order, please. Seelam, take your seat. Seelam, take your seat. Seelam, take your seat. Seelam, you take your seat. Viplav ji, take your seat.
We have an issue. Sir, we have been listening with respect very attentively to the Honorable Finance Minister. During the course of this discussion, many issues were raised. If there were political issues which were mentioned, they had to be because this issue was politicized, as we know, because of the shunt. No, I didn't. Oh, no, because the matter is legal. I did talk of law, we did talk of treaties, but yet at that time, I must say, and you will appreciate, a responsible political party was not expected to, if we were responsible, to make that a political issue. And this answers that from where the number of 85 lakh crore was given by the Prime Minister, why the 100 days assurance was given, this we all knew that this was happening. We are not satisfied. We are walking out.
Sir, I conceded to my learned friends, after an election, somebody wins, somebody loses. The loser is entitled to a grudging argument. So I conceded to my friends that right.
Sir, 30 seconds. We are talking about winners and losers. We come up a big win in Bengal.
Yes.
I have made a specific point about the PMO's note in September. I must credit Mr. Jaitley. He can sell a refrigerator to an Eskimo. There's no doubt about that. But today he provided us a summary of what has appeared in the media. None of the issues we raised have been responded to. This is a big issue because this is not about finish his speech. Sir, this is not about
allow him to finish his speech.
This is about the parliamentary democracy.
Let him finish the speech.
This is a parliamentary democracy.
Sir, since my friend Mr. Derek O'Brien mentioned the PMO note, and the PMO note said that nothing can be done in these matters, and it's not easy. And I think Derek O'Brien saw a news item on an English news channel, which is his favorite channel, because I see him very frequently on that channel, and he based his entire argument on that. The Prime Minister's office, from some well-meaning enthusiastic person, received a communication. The Prime Minister's office wrote to the Revenue Department, and every paragraph starts with the word that this office had been informed. It is mentioned in the communication sent to this office. Please give us your response. The Revenue Department answers, and that's the note. I hold it in my hand. So somebody writes a letter to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister says, office says, I have received a letter. the letter mentions this. So where they quote that letter writer, the news channel wanted to sensationalize. So instead of being the letter writer's opinion, they passed it off as the Prime Minister's office opinion. And without verifying that letter, Derek O'Brien brought that issue to the House saying the Prime Minister has said so. Well, this is how rumors are effectively spread. Now the question arises, what happened in the Supreme Court? Why did the government go back? Why did the NDA government go back to the Supreme Court? Now on one hand you have a large number of treaties with a confidentiality clause. Except one treaty with Romania, every treaty Government of India has entered, rightly or wrongly, has a confidentiality clause. And the confidentiality clause is there in G20, it is there in OECD, it is also in FATCA, which provides, the American law which provides for automatic exchange of information.
But in India, we have no law to ensure the right to privacy.
Again, I have to disagree. I have normally agreed with Rajiv, but again I have to disagree. Our Supreme Court has read the right of privacy into the Indian Constitution itself. Forget the legislation. Article 21 is the right to privacy. This is what the Supreme Court says. It's a fundamental right. That's what they say. So it's higher than an ordinary legislation. Now what happens is, the Americans have now legislated and they are asking countrywide, world over countries to sign an intergovernmental agreement that all commercial transactions, there will be an automatic exchange of information. A provision in that law is, it comes into force from 2015, that if you don't sign, then you don't get information and you don't give them information. So we are out of the mainstream. We'll be out of the G20 mainstream, we'll be out of international cooperation. And if you don't sign, as a deterrent they've said, not only the USA, but other countries signing it also will impose, it looks very onerous, a 25% withholding tax on all remittances coming into India. So an exporter's remittances, a person who works there sends his salary to his family. NRI sending, FDI coming. Now this is how global pressure is being put for automatic exchange of information. Now if you see the number of treaties we have, I was just making a total count of them. We have 92 double taxation avoidance treaties which provide for exchange of information documents. 91 of them have the confidentiality clause. One we have signed, which has to come into force. 7 are being negotiated. Tax information exchange agreement, we have 15. 2 we have signed, 29 are being negotiated. And then those countries will have their own law. G20, OECD, FATCA, these will be additional compulsions. I stand corrected. The FATCA provides not for 25% withholding tax, but 30% withholding tax. 30%. Now we have to decide whether we have to be a part of the mainstream or not. And advice is being given. Some of us may also wrongly understand it. And that is why I said we are on a learning curve. Make everything public. Our Supreme Court in the judgment says confidentiality clause is contrary to the Constitution, so I can't enter it. So is the answer that I suffer 30% international tax, withholding tax? The consequences I suffer is all my treaties become invalid and nobody will supply me information. And then you will come and say, you said 100 days, 200 days, I'll get the information. What happened? You are suggesting to me a suicidal course. This government is not going to follow that course. And therefore, we are going to be on the right track. Even if it takes a little extra time, we are going to be on a track where we get all the information. People are prosecuted, assessments are made, and then under relevant laws. Now when I was looking at the laws, how do monies come in? income tax law itself may not be enough.
Oh, your 100 days when it will be over. That's what. The whole thing was provoked. The whole thing was provoked by trivialization of the issue for a short-term gain.
Tapanda,
we are not trivializing. You just make that assertion to us.
I have started by conceding you the right to provoke. You are in the opposition. I can tell you, I can honestly tell you,
For the government.
speeches have been made, make a disclosure public without evidence.
We are also concerned for the interest of the country. That's what I'm saying.
You said that we can publish.
Some people will be caught and you are distinctly right. I saw your interview. Then I thought you are going to publish.
Okay. All right, let him complete, please. Now, let the finance minister complete the speech. Allow him to complete the speech. Raja, please. Let him finish. Let him complete the speech. Yeah, yes. Let him complete this. Please. Please. D. Raja.
Mr. D. Raja,
Please. I think we should. I think we should allow him to complete the speech.
people like me have spent most of our lives in opposition. And therefore I know,
So you can understand.
our job in the opposition, Sharadji knows better than me. He has spent more years in opposition than even me. कि opposition में तो एक privilege है, अपना सुझाव दे दिया और जिम्मेवारी किसी दूसरे
So
की
you
है.
will not be provoked.
तो इसलिए I am giving you the right to provoke, but we will not be provoked. So my suggestion therefore is that we are on a course where we went back to the Supreme Court to tell the court that we now find that this is the international scenario. These are the treaties. Sitaram was right that on the first day the court gave some oral observations. On the second day the Attorney General explained to the court, therefore this part needs to be modified. They said we have now appointed the SIT. You go back to the SIT, place your application to the SIT. We did not realize that all documents are already with the SIT, and let SIT make its recommendations to us on this subject. So the SIT has been meeting. The SIT has made its first report to the Supreme Court. Before 30th of November, it is to make its second report to the Supreme Court, and those proceedings are going on. I only want to say this. We are completely committed and sincere in our efforts to identify every account holder. If somebody has a legitimate account, it's his good luck and the law then favors him. But if the account is illegitimate, then even if subsequent changes are required in law, for instance, in bringing back money, Income Tax Act, Money Laundering Act, the UN Convention Against Corruption, these are all instruments that we rely on. Are they sufficient? Are they not sufficient? We are going to learn by our experience every day. So we are now in the process of passing assessment orders against them. Wherever evidence is coming, we are filing prosecutions. As I said, 250 people out of these 627 have admitted to having accounts abroad. That makes our task a little easier. And with regard to others, we have now entered into a new arrangement in October with Switzerland. We are now in the forefront. Besides Liechtenstein and Switzerland, the whole thing is not over. All over the world, we are going to have automatic exchange of information. We want India to be a prominent part of that mainstream. That is what the Prime Minister's address at G20 was. And therefore, we will be extremely proactive in taking these people to task. You can get some pleasure or thrill out of the fact this didn't happen in 100 days, but we've done more in 100 days than any other government has done in the past. And therefore, it's a procedure which will take time, but we will follow a foolproof procedure and get all the details that we can, so that the guilty are taken to task. That's all I have to say. So I am not going into some individual suggestions.